Hey Doodlers, how are you doing? I spent about 2 hours deciding what to watch on Netflix or Amazon or something the other night, and in the end I chose The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. If you haven't seen it, it's a great movie by the Coen brothers. It's all sort of cowboy themes, and I was just doodling and while I was watching it. The very last section of the film is set inside a stagecoach, and I just started sketching, and then as soon as you decide to sketch something on a movie, they've gone, and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait, and then they're back for 3 seconds, and you just have to kind of get impressions. And so I kind of thought, this is what I did, and I thought I'd maybe kind of sort of work it up a little bit, and I'm trying to think how I kind of started. I remember there were these very, very definite eyebrows. So this was a Frenchman, and I don't know what his name was or anything, or his particular so if you're not, I don't, there's a sort of spoiler alert. They're in a stagecoach, and you remember all those kind of old Agatha Christie kind of things where they're all actually, it's like a ghost story, and they're all really on the road to heaven or hell or wherever it is they're going, and none of them realise. I think some of them suspect that, you know, maybe they've actually died because their stories don't quite match up, and so they're being sort of taken off to the other world, which in this case is a saloon in the middle of nowhere, in the desert. And so yeah, so I'm just kind of drawing this. And he had such a big kind of head. I suppose I should really go and look up and see what the actor's name was and find a clip to kind of show you what it is that I'm trying to draw. But I'm not going to do that because it was all about an impression, and if I now go and look to see who it was and what it was actually all about, then I'll probably get all influenced by that, and I don't want to. So now we're going to want a kind of a chin there, and then a thing. And some of you might be going, oh, hey, he's not using a Rotring Tikky graphic. I'm using a pencil, a mechanical pencil. This is actually a Rotring 800 Plus, which is very lovely and quite pricey. I was given one by Rotring, in the hope that I would be doing exactly this and sort of telling you to go and buy them, and I'll put links down below. They are very, very lovely, but they are quite pricey, nice and heavy. So I'm going to have a kind of a thing like that, and I'm going to have his shoulders right out there. I think he had a suit actually, so I can give him a sort of collar like that. And then there was this other character here who's kind of one of the I'm trying to think what the word would be. Conductor. I suppose that's probably the kind of word I'm looking for. And he had these wonderful eyebrows which kind of went like this, right to the side and then down. And as I say, you know, I like drawing characters from the TV, but you know, you really do. You only get kind of 3 seconds usually, and I've become quite used to editing sort of methods, really, sort of movie and TV. I kind of think, you know, okay, well, you know, I've had that one view, and then you kind of listen to the dialogue and think, right, oh, they'll be coming back now in a moment. Yeah, there they are. And so you're ready for it, and you kind of think, right, I just got to, you know, just got to look at their eyes or something like that, whichever bit that it was kind of difficult to draw, and I think I need to see that bit again. So you just go straight in there, laser focus into the eyes or whatever it was that you need to sort of improve, and kind of go, yes, I remember, and they've gone again. And he has this fantastic hair which is all kind of screwed up there, and there's ears. So now I can bring this down, and then a little beard, and it's not. I think if you went and watched the movie now and kind of compared this to the actual character, it's not a portrait. It's an impression, and because as I say, you don't get long, and so very big kind of lapels. Now I'm swapping over to my Pentel water brush, my Aquash, Pentel Aquash, isn't it? That's right. People always, what is that thing you're painting with? In fact, somebody the other day, I think there was a video, I'll see if I can find it and put a link up here, video I did in Amsterdam. We went on holiday, and there's a bit of film of me painting in a bar or something, I think, where we were eating or something like that, and they were saying, what are those markers you're using? So I had to replace, not markers, it's watercolours. So I'm going to add a little bit of red in here just to get those kind of lips. I suppose really they ought to be, if we're talking about a kind of a Deathly Hallows kind of thing, and it's a ghostly thing, then they ought to be using quite pale colours for me, really. But right, I'll let that dry for a bit, and I'll come over to this guy. So, but you know, I mean, so this is just these very, very quick impressions of these people, and so it's actually much more fun to go and sit in a cafe or something and draw people who are there, and then you get more than 3 seconds. So, but I don't know. I'm doing a lot of artwork at the moment. I'm writing at the moment, so I'm writing for. Actually, I'm writing. I think I've got 6 books on the go. So I got 1 children's novel. I got 4, possibly 5. Kind of reading scheme picture books. So every time I think, oh, it'd be nice to do a bit of sketching, then ding, an email comes along, and no, I've got to do a bit of editing or next draft on something, on a bit of something or other. So I'm not going to get much rest until those are all done, I don't think. Something like that. And I'll have a little bit of blue in that there, so you can have a little bit of softness in the shirt. Actually, maybe a bit of cream. Oh, that's too dirty, isn't it, really? But anyway, well, let's try that. I'm making it up. And now I am making it up, because I'm going to give him this kind of a fancy kind of pinky kind of suit. That's just really the first colour, and then you better have a matching tie. So I'm now really taking it away from the movie into something more fanciful, I suppose you might call it. A bit of green, bit of ochre. I want to get that kind of tweedy green kind of colour, and that'll be in his waistcoat as well. And yeah, and he'll have a, oh, I'll clean that. So with the brush, squeeze the water's in the handle, and I just squeeze it a little bit, and that makes the water flow and cleans the brush at the same time. So I think I need a little bit of blue on his sort of linen shirt, like that. I think I can probably put some background in there as well. And I'm going to go and maybe add a bit of. See, I haven't been painting for a while, so these paints have slightly dried up. When when you're really working paints, then watercolors, then they get really soft and juicy, and then you can just, you know, pick up colour just very quickly. And once they dry, you have to kind of work them a bit. That tends to wear the brush out a bit as well. So the secret is just to keep painting every day. And if you can't, then you can always just put a little drop of water in them every now and then to just keep them damp. If you can remember. So what was I saying? Yeah, so it's a great movie. Buster Scruggs. I was really surprised when I first watched it. It was not what I was expecting at all. It's kind of 4, no, I don't know, maybe 6 little kind of short stories. And you think, oh, it's going to be kind of a cowboy film, and you think, oh, I'm not sure about, do I want to watch a cowboy film? But it's funny, it's witty, and it's sad, and it's thoughtful, and shocking, many things. And I think it's, you know, it's not an old-fashioned sort of yee-haw, whoop 'em up kind of cowboy movie. It's very much, you know, personal and, you know, real life. Really gives you sort of a flavour of what real life, you know, what it would really be like to be living in those times, I think. So I'm going to now muddy up this pink a bit, like that, because it's too obviously pink, and we don't want it that pink, do we? Right. I think we're going to have a little bit of sort of shade coming under that collar, like that. Clean the brush, and then kind of sort of wash those colours in. And then, so I don't really clean the palette out much. So I think you can, you know, ooh, I think I need a bit more red than that. You know, you can be very precise with colours if you like, or you can be very messy with them, like I'm being. I know some people are amazing colourists, and they just really understand the way the colours mix, and I suppose I'm just a bit more intuitive from having made lots of mistakes, I imagine. Yeah, so I'll do something like that, and then I need to sort of soften that edge, which I can bring a bit of red in there again, just to build his cheeks up a bit. And we're going to do a bit of red on the lip here. Oh, that's a shame. The secret, I will just keep saying it, really. The real secret about watercolour is that it's you're not painting, you're drawing. When you're painting, the paint is on the end of your brush, and you apply colour. With watercolour, you are applying glazes. You're applying thin colour glazes, like those, you know, sort of celluloid wrappers you get on candies, on sweets at Christmas, like, and you know, you kind of look through them and the world goes orange or whatever, and so the light is coming from the paper. And what I really wanted there was a little bit of white highlight on the lip, and I just got a bit carried away and painted over it. So I can't get the whiteness. You see here, I'm getting the whiteness there. I'm getting the whiteness of the paper to be the highlight, but I'm not going to manage to do that on the lip because I've already painted over it. I could get what do you call it? A kitchen towel. In fact, should I maybe have a go at doing that? and kind of wet it. Let me see, I'll just clean the brush, get the brush nice and clean, like that. So if I just kind of wet the paper there and then press, oh, you can see it's lightening up. So, you know, you can take the colour off. There we go, that's got it. And I still need a bit of red around that nose. I think it's gonna. So I'm just building up. I'm building up the contours really with colour and making it, you know, sort of more three-dimensional, I suppose. And that's kind of what you're doing. It's thin layer upon thin layer, and you can you know, it's while it's wet you can add more colour on it, or and then it's going to be quite soft, whatever effect you're going to have. Or while it's or you let it dry and then you'll be able to paint a hard edge over the top. So this should be dry down. Oh, don't really want that kind of colour. This should be quite dry, so I can get a nice kind of hardish edge to that shadow there. But now I want to sort of soften it out again a bit as well, so I'll have a bit of shadow up there. And there. I'm going to want shadows in here as well, like that. And we're going to want something similar going on here. And it's not about picking up great lumps of colour, it's about painting with very thin, watery, wishy-washy colours. Let's see. Right, now I'm going to draw this iris around there like that. And I'll get a bit of darker and put that on the top like that. And then, so this is burnt umber I'm using for those eyebrows. We should probably find they were grey as well, and I'm painting them a strange colour. And now I want this little bit of red up there and a bit of red up there. And so I'm wanting that little shiny bottom lip and a little bit in there as well. And then I'm going to paint that inside of his mouth quite dark. And his teeth aren't going to be shiny white at all. They're going to be kind of, his lip is creating a shadow on his teeth. And I think we can maybe add a bit of more shadow in there. And then I think I'm just going to put some kind of lines underneath there and some shadow, maybe some couple of lines on the side. I'm going to leave him alone. So I'll come over to the other character who I cannot remember the name of the actor at all. I spent the whole time looking at him thinking, I know him. I know where he's from. Mrs. Rayner and I, we do this thinking, what was he in? What was he in? What was he in? And eventually maybe I'll get their first name and then she'll come up with a second name and we'll get there together. But no, couldn't quite get him. And normally I will kind of, Mrs. Rayner wasn't there. Mrs. Rayner was at work, putting people back together again at the hospital. So I'm going to do something like that, and then I'll get a bit of pinkiness, but I'm going to put a load of stripes on this one too. Yeah, so I was just watching the movie and normally in desperation then you get onto Google and start looking it up, but it was the end of the movie and I think I was tired and ready to go to bed. So there we have that. And I think maybe there should be something, some kind of pattern, something on his tie. So it's a bit less obvious. I think, I can't remember, he had some sort of fancy schmancy tie, I can't remember. Like that. And then we can come back to this kind of greeny brownness to go the other way to make these checks. And it's a loud Victorian sort of dandy checks. Like that. And in case you're thinking, I'd like to have a go at doing that, then I was meant to use this set. In fact, there's a link to this set here, which I opened. I can't open it now. I opened on a live show on Friday. I was going to use this set, I forgot. So there's links to that and to the pen, brush, and everything down below. So if you follow those links and you want to get any of this stuff, then you'll be helping this channel, because I'll be getting a commission from Amazon, but you won't pay extra. That's the advertising done. Oh, and while I'm at it, yeah, if you like this video, why don't you subscribe to the Shoo Rayner Drawing channel on YouTube? Click this little button down here, and if you really want to help this channel and you want to kind of learn more and get more out of it, come and join me on Patreon. And I've got various kind of levels you can join me on there, and everyone who joins me on Patreon gets to join the secret Shooby Doodlers Facebook group, where we kind of haven't been going that long, but we kind of discuss ideas and each other's work, and you can show your work and get some extra help, and I can give you thumbs ups and things like that. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So come and join us on there on Patreon, and there's a link up here. Press that eye thing and there'll be a link to Patreon. And I'm just about to give him red eyes. I think I'm going to give him green hazily eyes. Yeah. So, and then probably a bit of something like that, and then we just need some thing like that, and again we need a little bit of red on the lips. Is that red? No, it is not. So just drop a bit more in there. And then we need a little bit on the top. Lips are really delicate things. So yeah, we're probably going to need a little bit of shadow underneath there as well, which can then probably translate underneath his magnificent moustache. So he was American and not French. He's the French guy. And I think maybe I'm just going to get a little bit of sort of extra colour in. Oh, I'm just squeezing to get a bit more water going. And then I think I'm going to do very fine, try and do very fine lines down in between, like that, so that we're getting a kind of a multi-coloured kind of thing, because these sort of tweedy checks are never around one colour. There's always lots of different colours blended in. Like that. And I think, I think he needs just a little more in the eyes there. And I'm just going to put a little bit more darker on the top. Kind of like that. And I am going to call that it. So thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the Shoo Rayner channel, and do think about coming and joining me on Patreon. And in the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.